Hey guys, Dan the Man here, and today I'm going to show you how you can actually fix a broken hinge on your computer. So first of all, I've got this computer right here. Let me show you. That's the hinge right there. As you can see, I just lifted it up. Underneath there, all that stuff is broken. So if you watch my previous videos, I've used this silicone kind of thing. So you just melt this, apply it in there, and you're good to go. And it actually lasted for quite a long time and it was good. But there's one downside to it, is that I didn't do a very clean job doing that. And there was this stuff left in there and it made it so thick. So when I put everything back, the back cover of the laptop and everything, it was quite thick and I could see a huge gap in there. It was fixed, but I could see the gap. So I wanted to do a cleaner job this time. So I decided to get some epoxy glues, AB solution, that you just mix them. And I bought this for about $1, which is surprising, and it's an Iranian brand, which is cool. It says like 5 minutes. It takes 5 minutes for it to harden. You mix it for a minute and then you just let it stay there for anywhere between 2 or 20 hours, I guess. That's like the norm with most of these epoxy glues. So this stuff is good for basically joining like metal or plastic or wood or other materials to each other, and it just works fine. You can also buy better brands, like, but they're more expensive, like JW Weld, something like that. It's an American brand, or Gorilla, and all those things are quite good too, but JW Weld thing is a lot better, but doesn't really matter that much. I've seen people repairing it even with this kind of glue. So let me show you where the broken part is. Sorry about the sound. Okay, you can see right there, all that broken stuff is in there. So we're gonna apply the glue in that area and there, and then put it back in there, make a sandwich out of it, so it would be hopefully working just fine. So first things first, I'm gonna be mixing this glue right in front of you guys. You gotta put the equal amount of each A or B solution in there. Just gonna open it up, put a little bit of it in there. Make sure there's plenty of your room, air in your room, because this stuff might smell quite nasty and not really pleasant to basically smell or things like that. Okay, I need to open it better. I'm gonna use a scissor. Let me zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. I'm actually gonna be mixing this thing in here. Okay, good. This stuff is quite hard to get out, so you need to be mixing the equal amount of both. It's a little bit hard to get it out. Okay, I'm gonna put that much in there. Maybe just so, a little bit more in case. Smells quite nasty and strong, chemical kind of smell. So just make sure your windows are open, otherwise your room would smell weird. And then you need to mix this thing quickly in a minute or so. Okay, I think that's more than enough for one hinge. This stuff are pretty powerful kind of stuff, you know. And we're gonna open the other solution, the red one. So it's quite nasty. You see my hand? I think I need to mix it before actually opening it. So it doesn't matter. Let's just cut this thing off. Yeah, baby. It smells really bad, I'm telling you, but I think that would do. See, kind of equal amounts, right? If I could just put a little bit more of the black one. This kind of chemical is all over my hand right now. I'll clean it up later. I know it's a little bit messy in here. Doesn't really matter that much. So what we need to do now is to mix this thing. You're gonna be needing mix this solution for maybe a minute or so. Because it's gonna harden pretty well, you know, in there. Once it's in there. So We're just gonna be mixing it for a minute, so it's gonna be a little bit of a long video. I'm not into editing this thing. And let's see how strong it's gonna hold to this thing. Okay, we're mixing this thing. Smells pretty damn bad. Just make sure wherever you're doing this is ventilated, or there are windows at least open, or some sort of air ventilation systems going on in there. So we got the solution mixed, and I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna be applying. I'm gonna be applying it there. That's where the problem is and where it's been being caused. I think I'm just gonna put a handful of amount of this thing in there, a good amount of it in there. All right. A good amount of it right over there and here as well. A good amount of this glue, just to make sure that there's enough of it. Gonna put that little screwy thing back in its place, I guess. That's where it belongs, right? It's gonna a little bit nasty. Make sure you clean your hands well after doing this kind of thing. If this thing's gonna stay in there, well, it is going to stay in there. I'm gonna apply some of it on the hinge itself. I have to be pretty quick before this thing starts to harden up. So let me just put all that's there left. I don't want to be cleaning my fingers anyways. I don't really care as much about this. So I think I've had enough amount of this thing, and that should do the trick. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to push the hinge back in its place. It's a little bit nasty. Doesn't matter. This thing came out, but not a biggie. So we're gonna let this thing stay there for a while, but I want this to be a clean job. I don't want to have mess around this area. So the good thing about this kind of epoxy glue is that you can also polish it after you're done with this thing. So technically that should be just fine. All right. So just you have to let that thing stay there for, I don't know, like a couple of minutes or something, and then you can change your hands with some sort of alcohol. Make sure they're clean and good to go. That's all pretty much. If you have a G-clamp, you don't really need a G-clamp on, depending on the location that it's broken. With this type of hinge, I don't need that kind of thing, because it's just gonna stay there, and I believe that it's gonna be good. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Just subscribe if it was helpful and all.